Hello, everyone. I just wanted to give you a quick update about the business license fee discussion in the city of West Jordan. Last Wednesday, December 5th, the city staff submitted another proposal, slightly modified proposal of what they've done in the past to the city council for consideration. The proposals that they submitted in the past included disproportionate fees, and what they're including in disproportionate fees is the cost of police and fire, the total cost of the police and fire departments minus the residential use, and then allocating that to the businesses based on risk factors of requiring first responders. So the latest proposal is that they're going to, what they want to do is not only charge a base fee, which would cover the administration of the business license fee, but they're going to charge a base fee plus a per employee fee plus a smaller percentage of the disproportionate use fee. And so not only would you be paying exactly what you're paying now with the base fee and the per employee fee, but you'd also be paying a percentage of this disproportionate use fee. And one of the things that they also proposed was a $2,000 cap, which I'm sure was intended to kind of mitigate some of the effects of the businesses that would be charged $5,000 or $4,000 a year for business license fees. But the challenge from my perspective with the disproportionate fees is the biggest thing is that it hurts small businesses. So small businesses that are typically paying $75 to $100 a year for business license fees now could be paying $2,000 if they're within certain categories. And I'll give you a couple of examples of categories. One is medical. So Jordan Valley Medical Center is the city's largest employer, and so currently their business license fees are about $1,700. With this new proposal with the cap of $2,000, Jordan Valley Medicals would go from $1,700 to $2,000, which is fine. I'm sure that Jordan Valley Medical will happily cut the check for the extra $300 and not blink an eye or think another thing of it. The problem is the nurse practitioner who just decided to start her own business this year because she wanted to give people a more personal touch, and she only has a handful of patients so far and is building her practice but still has to pay her rent. She also has to pay $2,000 a year, where before she paid $75 a year. So where big businesses would just say, okay, yeah, no problem, another $300, no big deal. Small businesses are like, well, kids, I guess we just don't have Christmas this year. So that's the biggest problem with the business license fee as currently proposed, is that it hurts small businesses, and it doesn't necessarily address the problem that the city is challenged with. And their biggest thing is, okay, so what do we do? And this is what Alan Anderson approached me during the break in the meeting. He said, so how do you feel about this proposal? And I said, it still kills small businesses. You know, the small business owner, okay, if they're established and maybe making money or whatever, they just don't have Christmas. That comes right off their table. There are some small businesses that are really struggling, and this is what the city council doesn't understand. You know, my full-time job, what I do 40 hours a week, is talk to businesses. Rick and Lauren, their full-time job 40 hours a week is talking to businesses. We know them. We know these people. These businesses are made up of people, and these people have shared with us their story, their challenges, what they're going through, and some of them have leveraged everything to start these businesses in the community. You know, these little mom and pop shops, and $2,000 may as well be $1 million to some of them. There's just, I can't imagine that some of them wouldn't just give up and close their doors if they had to pay that additional fee, because they're struggling that much. And you know, some people's attitude is, well, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be in business. Well, my attitude is, they're in business, they're in it, they've invested in the community, they're providing a service. Shouldn't we do whatever we can to help them be successful? So that's one part of it. And Councilman Anderson approached me during the break, and he said, well, what do you think of the new business license fee structure? And I said, well, first of all, I think the disproportionate fee is the whole concept is completely weighted to favor the big businesses who don't need a break, and it completely kills the small businesses. So those are my biggest concerns with the disproportionate fee portion of the business license fees. I also think the whole theory is flawed with paying for police and fire. You know, when you're paying, when a municipality pays for something that everybody uses and everybody enjoys, it's like insurance. And in that way, those things should be paid for with a tax. A fee should just cover the cost to administer the program, which in the case of a business license fee, it should cover the cost of, you know, keeping track of the business and printing the business license piece of paper that says you have permission to conduct business in the city, which I can see a bit of a need from a city standpoint in order to manage that. But really, to charge any business $2,000 for business license fees, or to tie it to first responders, A, I think is a flawed concept, and B, the way that they've done it, it's not equitable across businesses. It's the small businesses that lose. We talked to a dentist the other day, for example, who's been in business for 16 years and has only called first responders one time in 16 years of doing business, yet his fee is going to go from $75 a year to $2,000 a year under the auspices of paying for police and fire, because he's at higher risk for requiring first responders. So for those of you that have expressed an interest in coming to City Council, on the next City Council meeting this Wednesday night on December 12th, it's on the agenda and it's under the business items, and it says discussion and possible action, which means they could be voting on whether or not to approve this proposal. There isn't a whole lot that you can do or say about it at this point, because the public hearing portion is closed. They've already done the public hearing. You can come at the beginning of the meeting and request to speak during citizen comments. However, if there are too many people speaking during citizen comments, the mayor has the right, ability, whatever you want to call it, to shut that off and not accept any more public comments. So the best thing that you can do is probably to email the city councilman or city council members at this point, and let them know about your opinion about how this impacts small businesses, and whether or not you want to see those small businesses bear the burden of the police and fire for the business portion of the city's expenses, which, by the way, is kind of already being covered through property taxes. So it's kind of questionable as to whether or not that's even a valid concern. So I will publish the city council members' emails in this post so that you can contact them and let them know whether or not you're concerned about this and how it impacts you as citizens or you as businesses, and how you feel, what kind of feedback you feel that they should have on this matter. So thank you for your participation. Any help that you can give the small businesses in the city of West Jordan will be greatly appreciated. Thank you.